corner of the day. Today we are learning about the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. Look at him. He's so silly. Look at this silly doggy. Oh my goodness. Look at him. He's like, no, 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 no. Alright, I'm gonna stop moving the image before I forget where it goes. Alright. Please do not call this dog the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. I think they're very sensitive. At least that face looks very sensitive. Look at him. He's so silly. But, of course, I can't say that without knowing its history. You can never make fun of someone or something without knowing their history. That's just rude. So the history of the Chesapeake Bay Retriever is, the history of the Chesapeake Retriever is one of the most fascinating and fortunate in dogdom, or the dog kingdom. In 1807, an American ship rescued the crew and cargo from the shipwrecked English brig off the coast of the Maryland. Among these rescued are two presumably new-fondled puppies, and were given the rescuers. These pups, one black and one red, later proved to be skilled water retrievers, and as their reputations grew, many local retrievers of uncertain background came to be bred with them. It also thought that Irish Water Spaniel, Newfoundland, Bloodhound, and other local hound crosses that are development of the breed gradually a distinct local breed emerged, a dog that would repeatedly swim through the icy waters of the Chesapeake Bay and unearningly retrieve duck after duck. Even today, the Chessie is renowned for its remarkable ability to mark and remember where the bird has fallen. His reputation spread and fell beyond the Chesapeake Bay area. By 1885, the breed was thoroughly established and recognized by the AKC. Despite being one of the oldest AKC recognized breeds, and as well as one of the few breeds that can boast of being made in the United States, the Chessie's popularity was remained modest. You know that means we have our first American doggy. Look at him. He's an American. American blood and brown. So basically, these dogs were good because they were the original breeds of a lot of good hound dogs and different types of retrievers, such as the the bloodhound, the basset hound, which is one of my favorites, and a few other animals. But yep, look at him. He's silly. Now, of course, now you see this, you know their history. You're gonna go to your little cocktail parties and tell all your friends, or hey, you're probably 6 years old, or listening to this in class, and your teacher's like, "Oh, can we please watch the leading corner of the day?" Okay, but only because you're very good. And now you're here. So now you want to get one of these dogs. You're sitting there in class, you want to go to lunch right now, and you're like, "Oh, I want one of those dogs." So you got to know their temperament. Of course, this is more for parents, but what do I know? The temperament of the Chesapeake Bay Retriever is hardy enough with not only to withstand, but also relish repeated plunges through icy water. It loves to swim and retrieve. Despite an active life when outdoors, despite it tends to be calm, the Chessie tends to be independent, though it's eager to learn and is reserved for strangers and can be protective. It also can be aggressive towards strange dogs if challenged. This is not the hardest, most strong-willed, and protective of the retriever breeds. Upkeep. And now, the temperament, they're kind of hard to people. They'll look at you and be like, "Oh, well, I don't like you." But, to other people, they'll be like, "Well, you know what? You're pretty cool. You're my best friend now." So, they're like that one kid. That one kid. But yeah, now you want to know the upkeep. How does this doggy be a doggy? What do you have to look out for? What do you need to know? Now, the upkeep of the Chessie is a large, active dog that needs a daily chance to exercise. It enjoys a good walk or swim. It can live outside of the temperate conditions, but more than anything, it prefers to spend time with its family. The oily, wavy coat needs weekly brushing, but is generally easily maintained. It seldom needs washing. In fact, it's hard to get the Chessie wet. Bathing destroys the coat's oils, and thus, it's water resistance. Oh my goodness, a dog that's waterproof. Kind of like another type of water dog that I love, the seal. So basically, this dog is waterproof, and it's really hard to get this dog or keep him wet because of the oils that's in its fur, its coat. It's hard to explain. But yeah, so basically just go take this doggy out for a walk, brush his hair every week, and you'll be fine. Now, you got to talk about the health. It's always the worry part of owning a dog. I own a basset hound. I know the worst of it. Now, your major concerns are CHD and gastric torsion, which your teacher can look up for you if you really want to know the terms. The minor concerns are PRA, hyperthyroidism, and it's occasionally seen with ethropin, OCD, elbow dyslopia, cerebral atrophy. I'm bad at reading these words. But yes, even dogs can get OCD. Ain't that scary? Suggested tests are the hip, eye, and thyroid. So go get your dog tested every other month for their hips, eyes, and thyroids. And their lifespan is up to 10 to 13 years. Oh wow, they have a long lifespan, or at least longer than a lot of the dogs we've already read about. Now, the form and function of these cute little dogs is, well, it's what you make it, but this is what the book suggests, what their breed is known for. This is what they're best. This is the peak of their body. This is what they're built for, man. And the Chesapeake Bay Retriever was built and developed to hunt waterfowl under the adverse conditions, facing strong tides with rough water, high winds, and sometimes even having to break through ice. It's an extraordinary swimmer with strong yet tender bite, enabling it to carry birds. Its powerful limbs and webbed feet. The chessie is also slightly longer than tall, and its hindquarters are as high and higher as its forequarters, and its coat is rendered virtually waterproof. By virtue its oily, harsh outer coat and dense woolly undercoat. The color matches his working surroundings, any shade of brown, sage, or dead grass. Basically, this is your hunting dog. It's going to go get you duckies, and then you're going to have a yummy dinner. And that's basically it. But if you want to look at a glance, the energy levels, exercise requirements, and playfulness of this dog are at a 3. So not much. The affection level is at a 4, so they love you. The friendliness towards dogs and other pets is a 3, so they're decently friendly, just not the friendliness. They're not very friendly towards strangers, though, with a 2 scoring. The ease of training and protection ability is at a 3, so they'll protect you, but not the best. Their watchdog ability is a 4, meaning they can sense really well. Their grooming requirements is a 2, so, you don't really need to groom them a lot. And cold tolerance and heat tolerance is finally not both 3. They can tolerate the cold more, but the heat not so much. For a male, they're up to 65 to 80 pounds. For a female, it's 55 to 70 pounds is usually their healthy weight. The height of a male is 23 to 26 inches, and the female is 21 to 24 inches. Let's hope that doesn't mean feet, because that would be a big doggy. But we are going to be reading about a big dog like that one of these times. Curly-coated retriever, or, as I like to call it, the learning corner of the day. Now, today we are learning about the curly-coated retriever. If that name kind of sounds familiar, it rhymes really well with the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. This is another retriever. This is another silly doggy, except this doggy is fluffy. Now, it's kind of messed up that we're talking about dogs after the book we just read, but can we not talk about that? Seriously, why did you bring that up? That's not nice. Anywho, let's find out stuff about the curly-coated retriever with an even easier name. Of course, they can come in multiple colors, from brown, black, and I've even seen gray. But we can talk about it more in this story here. Now, we need to know the history before I can start assuming the color of their fluff, even though they're very fluffy. Oh, did you just want to pet them? Oh, they're great. All right. So, the history of the curly-coated retriever is one of the oldest and most distinctive of the retriever breeds. The curly-coated retriever may have been used in England before retrieving as long ago in the late 18th century. Although its exact origin remains conjectural, it probably stems from crosses and descendants of the Old English water dog with the Irish water spaniel. And the small type of the Newfoundland, these breeds together combine some of the finest water dogs in existence into one animal. Later crosses into a poodle, a fine water retriever in its own right, served to further enhance the twilight curls by the mid-1800s. The curly-coated retriever was one of the most popular retrievers in England, prized not only for once surpassed retrieving abilities, but is also a staunch and trustworthy companion. It was among the first breeds to be exhibited by the English dog shows. Exports to Australia and New Zealand were well received, and the breed still enjoys great popularity there. The first exports to America were in 1907. With the breed receiving an AKC recognition in 1924. The breed never came to particularly popular in America, however. Even popularity in the curly in England waned during the 1900s. One theory about its fall in popularity is several and typical curlies gave the breed the undeserved reputation as hard-mouthed retrievers, causing newer hunters to choose other retrievers. Those who gave Curly a chance have found that the breed is actually quite soft-mouthed. They also find that it makes a versatile family companion. So basically, these little puppies were not accepted into the retriever family, although they are retrievers because of how kind they are and how fluffy they are, which confuses me because I thought they would be as hard-mouthed, but, could be blended in with sheep, so they could be even better hunting dogs, but I guess not. Now, I know what they said. They just said, and quote, they also find that it makes a versatile family companion, but is that really the truth? We need to know the temperament before we can think of this guy as our little family companion, okay? So, the temperament of the curly-coated retriever is an eager and tireless land and especially water retriever outdoors, but a calm companion indoors. It is sensitive and gentle, very good with children, and responsive to the commands. It is reversed with strangers. One of the most outrageous of the retrievers is nonetheless quite sensitive. It makes an ideal partner for an active, outdoor-oriented person who also wants a loyal family companion. So basically, these guys are, oh my goodness, I love you, owner. I love you, I love you, I love you. And then when they look at someone else, they're like, okay, who are you? Get out of my house. But, you have a great family dog and a fantastic defender of your home. But does that really mean anything? We need to know what keeps these animals up at night. Or, I guess, the upkeep. Not what's up at night, but whatever. We don't want to scare the pup. Look at that pup. Especially if you're a stranger. In which case, it's gonna nom you. Probably. Most likely. But the upkeep of the curly-coated retriever is an easy dog to maintain, requiring no unusual care. It needs daily exercise, preferably involving swimming and retrieving. It can live outdoors in temperate weather, and it does best as an indoor-outdoor dog, because brushing diminishes the tight curls. It would be combed only occasionally, preferably before getting wet. It would become very minimal scissoring, may be desirable to tidy up scraggly hairs, and it does not need regular brushing during the shedding seasons. So basically, while this dog sheds during spring, or, sometimes during fall, depending the breed of dog, I think retrievers fall into that thing, you're going to have to brushy this dog. That's okay. That's 100% fine. And you need to brush him once in a while. I would say once every 3 days. So Monday you brush him, Tuesday you don't, Wednesday you don't, Thursday you do. But if it becomes spring or fall, you might want to do it every other day, or maybe even every day during a certain time of the day where they're very compliant. Now, the health of these dogs, part of the thing of being a pet owner that no one likes. I hate doing this too. The major concerns of this animal is the CHD. Minor concerns are none. So all you have to do is watch out for the major thing of CHD, which I think is chronic hair disorder. Basically, they have trouble growing hair, or, they grow too much hair. They are occasionally seen with dysgenesis, cataracts. So basically, they can go blind, or they can. I think the second one is they can damage their paws sort of easy. Or, you always have to keep an eye on it. Which long-legged dogs you'll have to look at. The suggested tests are hips. So you take your doggy to the doctor and your hips. And their lifespan is 8 to 12 years. So not as long as the other breeds. But, honestly, it's a good family dog. It's a good first dog. It's all saying, it's a pretty good dog. Now, the form and function of these animals, although we have said it's a family dog, they also have a form and function. What if I'm a big strong man or big strong woman? I don't need no dog. So what if we want a dog but no family? Now, the form and function of the curly-coated retriever is it is the most graceful and elegant of the retrievers, appearing longer-legged and more agile than the others. It is alert, upright carriage, enabling its mark down enemies easily. Be they fur or feather, it is an active land retriever and a hardy water retriever, able to withstand the rigors of repeated retrievers into heavy thickets or cold waters. Its distinctive coat provides protection from cold and briars and is made up of a dense mass of tight curls. Now, basically, this fluff makes them not feel the cold, meaning they can go in the water easier. Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing, because that coat can weigh them down, but apparently, seeing their fur being wet could also mean, hey, my dog was in water when I shot down that duck hunt style, So basically, these dogs are fantastic for if you are a hunter. No matter if you do or don't hunt, or if you're hunting something such as deer, these dogs are fantastic. So not only are they a good family dog, but they're also a good retriever, and, so you can play catch with them, with a ball, or with a duck. I don't know why you'd throw a duck at them, but whatever. Now we have to look at the final thing of today, at a glance. The simple numbers. Now, I'm going to explain this right now. 5 means, oh my goodness, I love you, this is the best. 4 means, this is pretty good, all things considered. 3 means it's average, pretty good. I know Joey over there, the dog, can do it. 2 means it's kind of a problem, or it's pretty low. It could go higher, it could go lower, just something to keep an eye on. And 1 usually means it's the worst. The worst or the best. It could be either or, depending on what the tier is. Now, for the energy level, exercise requirements, and playfulness, affection level, and friendliness towards dogs, these are a 3. It's basically the average dog. Hey, can I sniff your butt? Yes, if you can sniff my butt. And they're also very like, energy, yes, exercise, yes, playfulness, yes. They're a silly puppy. They're an average silly doggy. You're not gonna find that in a Chihuahua. Chihuahuas are gonna go and run everywhere. They have energies of freaking jet planes. That's a lot of energy. This dog, average energy. Now, friendliness towards other pets is a 4. Oh my goodness, they love other pets. Oh my goodness, are you a hamster in a ball? I'm gonna roll you around and then lay next to you. You are my best friend. The friendliness towards strangers is a 2. So basically, it's your call. Hey, owner, I know you invited this person into our home, but do I bite them or do I not bite them? That's up to you. That's just me. Now, the ease of training is a 3. You're going to have some trouble. You're not going to have some trouble. Depending how you treat the breed, depending how you treat the dog. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Same thing for animals. Now, their protection ability is a 2. Now, they might ask you, hey, you want me to bite this guy? But they might just bite and then feel bad about it. So, it's a 2. Now, the grooming requirements, and this is where number 1 becomes either really bad or really good, is a 1. You want that grooming requirement to be very low because grooming can become a chore if it's way too much. I know certain animals, such as the husky, have a grooming requirement of like 5 million because I used to own a husky and I loved him very much and his name was Smokey and I really miss him. He died a few years ago. It made me sad. He was a big marshmallow and I'm hoping to get another husky like him. But that's besides the point. Grooming requirement is a 1. You need to brushy this dog and make him your perfect little Barbie girl in his own Barbie world. Only sometimes. The cold tolerance is at a 4, which I think is the first for a cold tolerance going up to 4. Yep, with the Chesapeake Bay Retriever being the first for a heat tolerance up to 4. Yep, cold tolerance up to a 4. This doggy loves the winter. And don't think that coat fools you, that because the heat tolerance is a 3, which is average. Basically, it can go outside in the heat and be okay, which makes no sense to me. Oh, did you guys hear that loud boom in my microphone? That was lightning. I'm in a thunderstorm right now. It's very beautiful. I'm in a hurricane. I think it's called Hurricane Donna. I don't know. That's just the time of the recording. I'll be fine. But yeah, the average weight, no matter if they're male or female, is 60 to 70 pounds. So these are big doggies. And the height for a male is 25 to 27 inches, and for a female is 23 to 25 inches. Now, are these actually ever measured by inches? I couldn't tell you. But that's what I'm going to say they are. And what I'm also going to say is a learning corner. Yep, we are at the learning corner. Oh my goodness, look at the puppies. Look at those puppies. They're so cute. Is that my mouse there? That is my mouse there. I didn't know if that went through or if that was in the image. But today we are learning about the flat-coated retriever. It's a cute little puppo. Look at him. He's silly. We're gonna be on retrievers for a long time. With next episode's actual dog being a retriever as well, which is not going to be that big of a surprise, considering most of the retrievers. Now, look at that little puppy. And look how he's being silly with his friend. He has even bigger coat than the retriever we learned of last episode, the curly-coated retriever. So, now, Stonesy Boy reading fans, what is the history of this silly, big-haired dog? We've had retrievers from the Americas, retrievers from England, retrievers from Ireland and France. So what is the story of this retriever? Now, the history of the flat-coated retriever, it is one of the earliest uses of the retrieving dogs was to help fishermen retrieve fish and objects from the water. In the 19th century, such retrieving dogs were especially popular in the codfishes found in Newfoundland. Of these dogs, the most popular breeds were the Labrador, not to be confused with the present Labrador Retriever, and several sizes of the Newfoundlands. With development of the more advanced firearms, hunters were increasingly able to shoot on the wing, but they needed a dog to mark the fallen bird and bring it back. The fishery dogs were unrivaled swimmers and natural retrievers, and crosses between them and British breeds such the setters and pointers honed the dog's bird sense. The results of the wavy-coated retriever, and it became quite popular in America and England. In fact, it was among the earliest breeds to be shown in English dog shows. Near the end of the 1800s, crosses of the straighter-haired breed were made because of the wavy coat was thought to be less water repellent. The resulting flat-colored retrievers became tremendously popular. The breed was not recognized in the AKC until 1915, by which time it had already begun to drop in popularity by the end of the Second World War. The number of flat coats had dwindled to the point that the breed had threatened with extinction. Concerted efforts were trying to bring the breed back slowly succeeded, and the flat coat now enjoys modest popularity. So this dog used to be very popular, and is actually another type of curly-coated retriever, except, with his hair brushed. So that's kind of cute. And it was almost extinct, which was not cute, but it's still up and running. Look at these little guys. He's so silly.
Now, you know the sad backstory of the flat-coated retriever and how it's basically a carbon copy of the curly-coated retriever. But what is the temperament? Is it the same temperament as the other retriever? Well, the temperament of the flat-coated retriever is sweet, exuberant, and lively dog that loves to play and retrieve. It's a go outdoors but be quiet indoors. This breeding is among the most devoted and companionable of the dogs. A true family dog, it needs regular exercise to be on its best behavior. However, it's a sensitive breed and very responsive to training. Its hallmark is wagging tail. Basically, if you want to know if he's been good or bad, it's going to wag its butt. It's going to wag its tail at you. That's the truth. Now, great family dog, great companion, but what am I going to have to do for this dog? I mean, this dog has way more hair and way more straighter hair than the curly dog, so is it going to need more grooming? Well, to answer that, the upkeep of this dog is it's an active dog and needs daily exercise and fun, especially enjoys the chance to hunt and swim. This is a family-oriented dog that is not best when allowed to live inside and play outside, and the coat needs weekly brushing and little, if any, minor trimming occasionally. So this dog is going to need a little bit more grooming and a little bit more brushing. So, hey, that sucks, but he's a good dog. Now, the health of this dog is always the worst part. I hate doing this part. But the major concerns are none. Wow. So this is a lot healthier of a dog. There's no major concerns, but there are minor concerns of CHD, glaucoma, patellar luxation, hemangorascoma, osteosarcoma, lymphosarcoma, and gastric torsion. Basically, this dog has a sensitive stomach. This dog has sensitive ears and sensitive paws, to my understanding. It's occasionally seen having seizures and diabetes. Did you know dogs can have diabetes? I didn't. And its suggested tests are eye, hip, and knee. But I would also suggest. Oh wait, never mind. It says head. Never mind. Yep, eye, hip, knee, and head. Cool. Now, you know the horrible test of the doggies, and now let me tell you, what's the form and function of these dogs? I don't have a family. So, what's the form and function? Well, its power without lumber and raciness towards weakness is a traditional description of the flat-coated retriever. It's strong but elegant, never cobby, among the most streamlined of the retrievers and slightly longer than tall, of moderate substance. His head is distinctive, long in one piece, all parts flowing smoothly into each other. The gait is ground covering, smooth and efficient. The coat is thick and flat, the only moderate length, providing protection without adding weight. These attributes have resulted in a versatile, athletic hunter capable of retrieving over land and water. So this doggy is pretty good at hunting. I think all retrievers are. I mean, they're named Retriever. But yeah, let's look at the final thing today, which is the at a glance. The energy level and oh yeah, right. 5 stars is it's the best or it's the worst. 4 stars means it's pretty good or it's pretty bad. 3 stars is it's average, no questions asked, it's pretty average or it's kind of bad, 2 stars it's kind of bad or it's pretty good, or 1 star is it's really bad or it's really good. Now the energy level and exercise requirements are average. They average exercise, they run around, they fall asleep, they go and then they go to bed. The playfulness of this dog is at a 4, so they're very silly little puppies. The first 5-star of this channel is a affection level, so they love. They have a love affection level of 5. The friendliness towards dogs is a 3, and the friendliness towards other pets and towards strangers is a 4, which could be bad, but also could be good. The ease of training is also a 5, so these dogs are very easy to train. They are very affectionate, and they're very easy to train. The watchdog capability is a 4 too. So they might be friendly towards strangers, but if you tell them not to be, they won't be. How interesting. Their protection ability, though, is a 2, so that could be bad. So they can call someone out, but they can't attack. Which sucks, but it's okay. Their grooming requirements is a 2, which fights the grooming requirements of the curly-coated retriever, which was a 1. So they need, like I said, bi-weekly or every week, they need a groom, but, And back to normal, the cold tolerance and heat tolerance are at a 3, so pretty average. They can take the cold, but they don't want to. They can take the heat, but they don't want to. You get it. Now, the weight of the flat-coated retriever for both men and women should be at 60 to 70 pounds for healthiness, and for the height, a male should be 23 to 24.5 inches tall, and a female should be 22 to 23.5 inches tall. And with that out of the way, that is the end. Ooh, next episode we have a very famous breed of retriever, which is, fun fact about the golden retriever, it is the front cover of the Encyclopedia of Dog Breeds. It is the big dog in the front of the book. Now, what else is good about the golden retriever? Look at that face. He's so silly. He's a silly little dummy dog. If you turn this image upside down, which, I would never do, of course, because I'm a mature individual, his face looks like the McDonald's symbol. But yes, I can make fun of the dog, or can I? Because I don't know the history of the dog, and you can't make fun of something unless you know the history. Now, the history of the golden retriever, one of the most famous breeds of retrievers. Even little kids know what it is because of a certain dog in Paw Patrol. The history of the golden retriever is one of the best documented and most fortuitous efforts to produce the breed resulted in the golden retriever. The man responsible for the breed was Lord Tweedmouth, funny name, who lived just north of the Scottish border along the Tweed River, which is interesting interest in retrieving dogs in the mid-1800s. A dog could push through heavy vegetation, brave colder, swim strongly, and retrieve gently on demand. Lord Tweedmouth bred Noose, a yellow wavy coated retriever, a descendant of the small Newfoundland and earlier Labrador breeds used by fishermen, to Belle, a Tweed water spaniel, a popular liver-colored retriever and tightly curled coat. They produced 4 puppies, which showed promise of the outstanding upland bird dogs. Subsequent Judaeus crosses were made with the other black retrievers, Tweed spaniels, setters, and even a bloodhound. The breed was first considered to be a yellow variety of flat-coated retrievers, but was recognized as a separate breed of yellow or golden retriever in 1912. Of these few dogs had come to America by the way of Lord Tweedmouth's sons by 1900, but the AKC did not register them as a separate breed until the 1927s. The breed was valued for hunting ability, so aptly produced by the careful blending of foundation stock. It only later became popular as a pet, show dog, and obedience competitor. After it made the transition, however, it rise to height of popularity was meteoric, and it remains one of the most popular of all breeds in America. That's right. It is one of the most popular popular breeds of retriever. You want to talk about retrievers? You say, oh, is that a golden retriever? When I was a kid, I mistook every retriever as a golden retriever. But now, I'm an adult, and I can't mistake that or else I will be made fun of. Speaking of having bad temperament, what is the temperament of the golden retriever? You just learned the lesson how
Sir Lord Tweedmouth of the Tweed River has now breeded the dogs, and his sons went out and spread the breed.
he also made the first ever flat-coated retriever, which if you go into the last episode, you would find we talked about. Now, the golden retriever, the beautiful dog. What's their temperament? You want to own this, don't you? So the temperament of the golden retriever is, well, simply put, it's everyone's friend. The golden retriever is known as devoted and obedient nature as a family companion. It is apt for sporting retriever as well, and yearns for the days in the field. That's not good wording. Ignoring its active nature and powerful physique can lead to behavior problems. It needs daily physical and mental exercise. Poorly bred Goldens may be overly exuberant and boisterous, but the correct Golden is eager to please and enjoys learning. Well-trained and exercised Goldens are calm and manly at home and enthusiastic when invited to play. The Golden achievements in competitive obedience are remarkable. It especially enjoys games that involve retrieving and loves to carry items in its mouth. So, if you have the golden retriever, it's a great dog. If you have a golden pug retriever, you might have a little problem. Now, you know the history. You know it's man's best friend, dog's best friend, others' best friend. Now, what is the upkeep? I want this dog. My kid is listening to this, wants this dog. But how do I keep it up? The upkeep of the golden retriever, it needs daily exercise and human interaction. Challenging obedience lessons, active games, or retrieving sessions are all good ways for the exercise of the golden's mind and body. Although it is capable of living outdoors, it is such a social dog that is best when it shares its life and its family. The coat does not tend to mat, but needs twice weekly brushing. Okay, so you got to brush this dog's coat twice a week. That's kind of, that's up there when it comes to grooming capabilities. The flat-coated retriever only needed it once a week. So the more we go on with the retrievers, maybe the more you need to brush them and turn them into your perfect little Ken doll. But that's just me saying it. Now, the worst part, I hate this part. You could skip this part if you want, but as a pet owner, you shouldn't. What is the health requirements of these animals? Now, your major concerns when it comes to the golden retriever is CHD, skin problems, allergies, hot spots, ear infections when it comes to skin problems, hematosclerosarcoma, and lymphoma. Now, that basically means blindness, any problems with the jaw, a lot of different skin issues. I mean, this dog is very bright, which means it attracts the sun more. Fun fact, the more bright you are, the more you attract, the less you attract the sun. That's why adults hate the color black on cars, because that will turn your car into a little Dutch oven. And as much as you want to be a Hot Pocket when you grow up, or you want to be 99 pounds, eat a pound of Hot Pockets, and then be 1% Hot Pocket, it doesn't feel good. I've been in a burning car. My personal car is black. Well, it's blue, but I had another car that was black, and that car burned. It sucked. Now, the minor concerns are SAS, elbow dysplasia, eye disorders, entropin or CPRA, seizures, hyperthyroidism, mast cell tumors. Oh no, tumors. Although it's a minor concern, tumors are huge. Huge in the brain. Now, basically that means your dog isn't going to be thinking very well. There's a lot of health concerns with the golden retriever that I didn't even know. That's really sad to learn. But for this type of dog, it's, you got to keep an eye on these things. They might have medical problems. That little face right there might have a problem, but it's hard to tell. Now, it is occasionally seen with osteocoma, and the suggested tests are the hip, elbow, eye, cardiac, and thyroid. So basically, the head itself, the legs itself. This dog needs a lot of different testing, people. That's going to be kind of expensive, but for the perfect family dog, what are you going to do? This is a true question, because the lifespan of this dog is 10 to 13 years. I think this is one of the lowest of the breeds so far. With the flat-coated retriever having a lifespan of, I believe, 14 years, and the lifespan of the curly-coated retriever, oh, nope, it's 12. Okay, well, this is actually a pretty long dog breed then. I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm the one reading it, so you know it's bad. Now, the form and function of these animals. I don't have a family stone, Z. I don't have any of this, so what can I do? What does this dog do best? The form and function of the golden retriever is it's an athletic, strong dog, capable of carrying heavy game over land and water. Game meaning ducks, birds, a cow. I don't know why you'd be hunting cow in a swamp. Maybe you are. That's beside the point. For this, it needs a broad, powerful head with a strong neck and well-developed fore and hindquarters. It is slightly longer than a tail, and its gait is smooth, powerful, and ground covering. The water speculent coat is dense, with an outer coat straight or wavy. This dog jumps into water, jumps out the water, drenched. He is a sponge. His coat makes him go, and that means that's a big old sponge. What you do is when your dad is home and you want to do a little prank on him and he's in a good mood, you cover this dog with the hose water, you tell him, sick him, and tell him to go give dad a hug. You'll run in and then boo-doo-doo-boo-doo, and the entire room is wet and you did a funny prank. Now, don't actually do this because Stonesy will be blamed, and I believe you can get sued for that. But it's a funny little prank you want to do on your kids. Just saying, parents. Now, although you have to clean up the mess. Now, the final thing we got to go over with the golden retriever is at a glance. The scoreboard that was made by the beautiful people of the Encyclopedia of Dog Breeds, D. Carolyn Coley, PhD. Which finds that, before I say, 5 stars means, mwah, best. It's the best thing, or, for certain situations, only 3, it's the worst. 4 means it's pretty good. It's better than average. Or it could be worse than average, depending on the situation. 3, it's average. That's like that doggy over there. That's like that doggy over there. It's average. Who cares? Now, 2 means, okay, it's worse than average. We kind of maybe have a problem, but it's nothing to worry about. Or it could be pretty good, depending the situation. 1 is, oh my goodness, this is a problem. We need to think about this real quick. And, this is pretty bad. Now, I'll explain these in more detail later on, but we'll continue. So the energy level and exercise requirements of the golden retriever is at a 3. So, it has average energy, average exercise requirements, And this is the first time in book history where a bunch of things are 5. I think this is the most so far. Playfulness, affection level, friendliness towards dogs, friendliness towards other pets, friendliness towards trainers, and ease of training are out of 5, people. This dog, oh my gosh, you want me to tell you about this dog? Super playful, loves you to the very end, loves other dogs, loves other pets, loves your neighbor, loves your brother, loves strangers, and is easy as all get out to train. This doggy is probably why this dog is one of the most famous and one of the most known breeds in America. Now, the watchdog capability is out of 3, which is higher than the average retriever. Usually a watchdog's only out of 1. But this dog's out of 3, so it could actually pack a punch and pack a bite, which is average. Their protection ability, however, is a 2. So they might run over, they might bite, but that bite might not do as much damage as you're thinking. And the cold and heat tolerance, surprisingly, are both out of 3, which surprises me. Oh, and for the final thing, the grooming requirements are out of 3. This is pretty high for a retriever. Usually they're about 2 or 1, but considering it's every other week, or twice a week, it gets there. So basically, on every Friday and every, I would say every Friday and every Wednesday and every Sunday, you should probably go up to your dog, brush, brush, brush. He's gonna be silly, he's gonna be playful, he's gonna take the brush from your hands and run. That's okay. That's a golden retriever. That's how they do. They're very playful. Now, the weight of the male dogs are 65 to 75 pounds, with the female dogs being at 55 to 65 pounds healthy. If you see your dog higher or lower than this, consult a doctor. Your pet doctor, nearby veterinarian, or whoever you think. Or you could pick up the dog and be like, I'ma guess your weight. And then if you can guess the weight properly, maybe you'll get a stuffed toy or maybe some tickets so you can go over there and buy yourself some Smarties, or maybe if you save up enough dog weighty tickets, you can get yourself an Xbox 360 that's been used by the employees, but they won't tell you that part. Who knows? Now, the height of these dogs, for a good height, if they're any taller or any shorter, maybe get it checked out. It might cause some problems later on. Is for the men, 23 to 24 inches, and for females, 21.5 to 22.5 inches. So exact for the girls. But hey, we love you, ladies. So, that is it for the day. Oh my goodness, the next dog we're having is super popular too. It's the thing you're going to learn in the next episode. So, I hope you guys a super fantastic wonderful day. Be polite, be efficient, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye! Learning corner of the day, or Stonesy's learning corner. Today we have little puppies, and then next week, big versions of the puppies. Look how silly they were, and look how silly they are. The Labrador Retriever. Like I said last time, the next breed of dog is also another very famous breed of dog, if you've been watching and following the channel, which you should do. So, we are today going to learn about the silly little puppies called the Labrador Retrievers. Now, before you can make fun of anything, remember, you have to know the history of it. So, the history of the Labrador Retriever is that the original Labradors were all-purpose water dogs originating in Newfoundland, not Labrador. Not only did the breed not originate in Labrador, but also was not originally called the Labrador Retriever. The Newfoundland in the early 1800s came in the different sizes, which was one of the lesser, or St. John's Newfoundland, was the earliest incarnation of the Labrador. These dogs, medium-sized black dogs with closed hair, not only retrieved game, but also retrieved fish, pulled small fishing boats through the icy water, and helped the fishermen with any task involving swimming. Eventually, the breed died out in Newfoundland, with a large part because of the heavy dog tax. However, a core of Labradors have been taken to England in the early 1800s, and it is from these dogs, along these crosses to other retrievers, that the breed continued. It also England that the breed earned its reputation as an extraordinary retriever's upland game. Initially, breeders favored black lives in cold yellow or chocolate colors. By the early 1900s, the other colors had become acceptable.
Although it had still not as widely favored as the blacks, the breed was recognized by the English Kennel Club in 1903 and by the AKC in 1917. The popularity of the breed has grown steadily until it became the most popular breed in America in 1991 and remains so today.
I forgot to explain that the AKC stands for American Kennel Club, which is strange because the AKC is also the English Kennel Club, so maybe the AKC and the EKC have like different titles because of the confusing thing of most Americans speak English. Whatever. But now you know the sad but kind of happy story of the Labrador Retriever and how they are not from Labrador, although I guess a lot of people think so, according to the book, but are actually from Newfoundland, which I think is also a part of England, but, you know, it's been taken out because of wars and renamed and re-pushed over. But that's besides the point. What is the point is you want this dog. You want a Labrador Retriever. You want this silly little dog to go, wow, 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 and you know, you want it. Oh, I got my Bassethound's attention. He's looking at me. He's like, all right, I don't know what you're doing, Dad. Why are you making those noises? Because I'm imitating a Labrador Retriever, babies. And my other dog, Shiloh, who's trying to sleep, just hissed at me. And not hiss like a snake. He just went, you know, he's like a very grumpy grandpa or grandma because it's a girl. I love you, Shiloh. Anyways, you want a kind temperament dog like that. So the temperament of the Labrador Retriever is that the few breeds so richly deserve their popularity is not Labrador Retriever. When trained, it's obedient and amicable, and tolerates the antics of children, other dogs, and other pets. It is a calm house dog, playful yard dog, and intense field dog all on the same day. It is eager to please, enjoys learning, and excels in obedience. It is a powerful breed that loves to swim and retrieve. It needs daily physical and mental challenges to keep it occupied. However, the bored lab can get into trouble. The Labrador's hunting instinct drives it to roam. Breeders say his home is under his hat. Oh, that's so cute. So basically, they're the perfect dog, unless you leave them alone. In which case, they're gonna go run, 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 and they're gonna start breaking everything. And as it says, the home is under their hat, which means their home is wherever the heck their head wants it to be. They're very adventurous little puppies, or little doggies. So now you understand that, but you need more information. Look, my kid wants a Labrador Retriever. I have the Labrador Retriever in this box that's wrapped up like a present, and there's air holes in it, I swear. So, what's the upkeep of these things? Or do I have to return this to Dogs R Us? Well, the temperament of the Labrador Retriever, or the upkeep, of the Labrador Retriever, is that the Labradors are active and sociable dogs. They need daily exercise, preferably in the form of retrieving and swimming. Owners of swimming pools either must fence them out or be prepared to share the pool with the dog. The lab coat sheds water easily. It needs weekly brushing to remove dead hair. Although labs can live outdoors in temperate climates, they are much happier indoors with their family. So they're a people person. I'm sorry. I haven't drinking water this entire time. I should be, and you should be too. Remember to stay hydrated. Buy the Stay Hydrated stickers on stonesyboy.com/shop. That's not a real URL, but maybe it will be one day. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So these dogs are gonna need the brushy, which makes sense. They're very fluffy dogs. Even as babies, as you can see, they're very, very fluffy, puffy, funny doggies. So that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, now you get that, and now it's time for the worst part. If you're a child, cover your ears, but if you're an adult, you might want to listen to this part, because this part's the part that really bites you in the wallet. The health of the Labrador Retriever, and the most hated section of this, is their major concerns is CHD, elbow dysplasia, OCD, obesity, patellar luxation. Basically, these dogs are going to get very fat, very lonely, and very scared. That's a major concern. The minor concerns that you can find in some animals are cataracts, CPRA, hotspots, retinal dysplasia, and hydrophoidism. Basically, they could get infections from the water, their eyes can get damaged easy, and their elbows, because of how much they move, can be easily misplaced, if not, given enough exercise. Although that's a minor concern, it could be common. They're occasionally seen with diabetes, entropin, dysarthritis, tricuspid valve dysplasia, muscular dystrophy, and exercise-induced collapse. So basically, give these dogs some water, please. Oh, and watch what they eat. They could get diabetes, and that's not funny or happy because these dogs are silly. The suggested test for these dogs, I would say every month, is hip, elbow, eye, and knee, because these dogs are outside dogs. They're using their sniffers because they are a retriever breed. They're going to use their nose to find things, and their lifespan is 10 to 12 years. Not very high, but you know what? For a good companion, what can you do? Now, for their form and function, you're going to want to know. I mean, I don't have a family. I don't have kids. Something along those lines. So what can this dog do for me? Now, the form and function of the Labrador Retriever is it's one of the most moderate dogs, not extreme in any ways, but it's square, slightly longer than tall, of fairly large bone and substance, its broad and head and its strong jaws would be enabled to carry the largest game birds, such as Canada geese. Oh my goodness, those are big birds. Its heavy body, sit, and strong legs enable it to swim and run powerfully. Its coat, which is short, straight, and dense, and a soft undercoat, is weatherproof and helps to protect it from icy waters. The Lab is a working retriever and would possess style without over-refinement and substance without clumsiness. Now, for the final section of the day before we do it Gary's way, Bop, is the at-a-glance section. Now, for the at-a-glance section, we have, basically, let me explain it to you. 5 stars means it's the best, or could be the worst, depending the scoring. 4 stars means it's better than average, or it's worse than average. Hard to say. 3 is your average. Shh, you're an average dog. Doesn't mean I don't love you. I'm gonna pet your head until your head doesn't have hair anymore. But you're still average. 2 is, this could be bad, or it could be good. But it's lower than average. You know, you gotta look at it and be like, oh my goodness, it's lower than average. But it's okay, I still love you. And 1 is either, oh no, this is the worst, or this is the best thing ever, depending the breed of dog. Now, I'll explain it later as I explain these things. For the dog's energy level, you are at a 4 stars. That is good. These dogs are very energetic, unless you're one of those calm, lazy types who like to read books and make audiobooks for a living. What are you, a weirdo? That is bad, unless you have my type of dog, which is a basset hound. But yeah. Their exercise requirements is at a 3. It's average, but you know, still something to keep an eye on. They want exercise, they need exercise. Their playfulness and affection level are at a 5. So, you know, they're very playful. They want to bite you, they want to pull on you, but they love you. So, you know, they're not going to. They're going to be like, I want to bite you. I want to play with you, but I love you, so I'm not going to. Their friendliness towards other dogs or towards dogs are at a 4. So, you know, there may be man's best friend, shown by the friendliness towards other pets and strangers at a 5. But they're probably not going to be friends towards your other dog. Or, you know, they're going to be good friends, but not the best. They're not going to be married by the end of the day. Their ease of training is at a 5. These dogs are very easy to train. Their watchdog ability is at a 4, which is pretty good, you know. They can watch out and be like, I think I see someone over there. Their protection is at a 2, with their grooming requirements also being at a 2, which is, you know, for protection is pretty bad, but for grooming requirements is pretty good. So they might be able to watch out and bite someone, but they'll only do that if you brush their hair weekly. Now, their cold tolerance is at a 4, so they can withstand the cold, and their heat tolerance is at a 3, which is average. Basically, you always remember to give this dog water, and that should be fine. Wow, that is a long name for the next breed of dog, which is Learning Corner of the Day, or Stonesy's Learning Corner. Today we are learning about one of the longest titles of a dog, and I'm also going to try to keep the trend of a baby version of the dog and an adult. I hope that's a new thing that you guys like. Today we are learning about the Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever. Long name, it's better have a long history. It's a very long, dumb name. Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever. Who has a name like that? But of course, before you can make fun of anything, you have to know about the history, ladies and gentlemen. You should all know this by now. I mean, it's a very nice looking dog. He has a little sword for chest hair. I mean, that's pretty manly. And then that one has a rope. He's manly-er, even though he's a baby. He's a little bubby. He's a little stupid loopy doopy. And he has a little monocle eye and a little white thing on his nose. He's great. But he's also a little dumb. And he has little shoes on. Look at that, little shoes. Little paws that are shoes. But of course, we need another history before I can say more. The history of the Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever is pretty long. Europeans has used dogs to toll, Middle English meaning to lure or decoy, ducks into nets since the 17th century. Tolling is done by dogs frolicking along the shore, chasing sticks and occasionally disappearing from sight, an activity that draws curious ducks into the area. The tolling dog must continue its animated fashion, tail wagging, retrieve after retrieve, ignoring the ducks. With its advent of guns, the ducks were in shot and the dogs went to retrieve them. Such decoy dogs may have come to the European settlers in the New World, where they were used to toll in Chesapeake Bay at the marine times. The Nova Scotia duck trolling retriever was developed in the Yarmouth County, at the southern tip of Nova Scotia. In the early 19th century, it perhaps later crossed with spaniel, setter, and retriever-type dogs, as well as farm collies. And an alternative theory is that they're derived in part from the tolling American Indian dogs, originally known as the Little River Duck Dog or the Yarmouth Toller. The breed later became known as the Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever. It was recognized by the Canadian Kennel Club, or the KCK, in 1915, and 15 tollers registered that year. The first tollers came to the United States in the 1960s, and it was until 1984 that the Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever Club, USA, was formed. The club offered a breed companionship that required basic retrieving and tolling ability in order to qualify, and still offers a series of working certificates to ensure that the breed's instinct remain intact. In 2001, tollers were admitted into the AKC, or the American Kennel Club, miscellaneous class, and were admitted as a regular member of the sporting group in 2003. Since then, they have proven they are more than just trollers and retrievers, but excel in obedience, agility, tracking, and of course, companionship. So wow, these dogs did a little bit of trolling, or I guess tolling, as it was. And they would troll the little duckies, and they'd go, "Quack, why is he doing that? Quack, quack, quack." And then the guys with the gun would go, boom! And then they were like, okay, I go pick up duck now. La-di-da-di-da-di-da. So these dogs did a little bit of trolling. I think the only dog breed that I know of that does do a little bit of trolling. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But now, you want a little bit of a trollster in your home, because apparently he's a good companion. So, what are the temperament of these dogs? What, is it going to attack my kids? Is it easily angry? Well, the temperament of the Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever is that, as a benefiting of a dog breed that play and retrieve tirelessly, the toller is very energetic and playful. You cannot throw a ball at once for a toller. Everything they do is done with gusto, whether it's hunting, obedience, agility, or just walking around the block with a Glock. They are alert but not hyperactive and just can adjust to many circumstances. They are affectionate and gentle, but young tollers can be overly boisterous at times. They are good with children, other dogs, pets. And pets. Tollers may be instantly wary of strangers, but warm up quickly. They learn fast and are generally willing to please, but bore easily and then can be a bit stubborn. Sorry about that. I had to take a phone call. Now, these silly dogs can be a bit stubborn and very boisterous, but, you gotta keep them entertained, people. So this is not necessarily the family dog. This is more of my name is John Mitchell, and I live in the forest, and I'm out there. I don't know who John Mitchell is. If your name is John Mitchell, comment below, and if you do, you get a free Dog Day Stonesy Boy sticker. I don't know who John Mitchell is, and I don't have Dog Day Stonesy Boy stickers, so that's fine. Maybe I'll make them. Maybe if I get enough love for these, I'll start making dog merch. That sounds funny. Making money off doggies. But, yeah, so now you know about them. They're a bit boisterous and stubborn if they're not given enough attention. Yada yada. So what is the upkeep of these dogs? I, as a parent, know that my kid isn't going to do anything for these dogs. So what do I gotta do? What do I, as a parent, or I have to teach my kid about this dog to keep him up at night? Well, the upkeep of the Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever is that the tollers need a lot of exercise, especially involving playing and retrieving. They love water. Tollers are also profit from mental challenges such as obedience and agility. They devoted family companions that treasure their interaction with humans. So even though they are physically able to withstand the right variety of climates, mentally, they need to spend some time with their time indoors. They do not cope well with being kenneled outside. Grooming consists of thorough weekly brushing. So every day you wake up and you grab the brush you haven't brushy, then you go and brush them, and then you brush them, and then you can play with them all day. They don't like being outside, so do not kennel your dogs outside. Do not kennel the Nova Scotia Duck Tolling Retriever, or else they're going to do a little trolling on you. So yeah. Now for the worst part, the health. Little kids listening to this, cover your ears, because health is always a scary part that you don't need to learn about yet. For the adults or teenagers, keep your ears peeled. For the health, the major concerns of the Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever are none. Nothing that you need to watch out that can, hurt this doggy in one sitch. So that's good. The minor concerns are CHD or PRA. So, the eyes and such. They're occasionally seen with nothing. So these dogs are relatively healthy. The suggested tests, are the hips and eyes. So, you're going to want to keep an eye on those. Or you should keep a hip and an eye on those, Sorry, I sneezed. The form and function of these little doggies. I don't have a family. So, what do these dogs do for me, I think I'm coming down with a cold. I keep doing these audiobooks and opening my mouth, and all these beautiful little germs and parasites go, yum, 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 and I think I'm doing the yum, yum, yum part, but they're just going in and being like, oh, I love you, now, oh, no, and so yeah. The form and function of the Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever is that because tollers run as much as they swim when hunting, they are smaller and more agile than most other retrievers. Their powerful yet compact build enables them to rush around tirelessly, leaping and retrieving with tail always wagging. The jaws are strong enough to carry a duck because they were bred to work in icy waters. They have water-repelling double coat at medium length. A longer coat is not appropriate for a working dog, although the tail feathering could be long. Adding the emphasis of the wagging tail, the white blazed chest, tall tip, and the feel is characteristic. They may serve and make the dog's gamboling more noticeable or distancing ducks. So basically, as a person who just wants to keep an eye on this dog and wants to know the proper schematics of them, they have good enough hair to not get, very, very wet, but you got to make sure their hair isn't very long, or else that could be bad. Now, for the final part of this is At a Glance, which is a 5-tier bar consisting of these 5 tiers. Tier 5 means it's either the best or it could be the worst, depending what we're scoring. 4 means it's better than average, Oh, you're better than the average puppy dog. Or it could be worse than the average puppy dog, depending the situation. 3 is average. Oh my goodness, you are average. You are like that doggy over there. You're completely average. You're just like every other dog. 2 could be worse than average, which could be good or bad. It could be low or high on the schemometer. And 1 is you're the worst. You suck. You're not good. Now, for a doggy, that's sad. So you got to still give him a lot of kisses. And because of a dog having 1 in something does not mean it won't have higher attributes than everything else. Because people love dogs. I love dogs. So just because something has a 1 tier don't make it think it's bad. Now, for the At a Glance. The energy level, exercise requirements, playfulness, affection level, friendliness towards dogs, and friendliness towards other pets is a 5. Now, this dog is big muscle, big playing, energy, loves people, loves other pets, loves other dogs. He's great. He's everyone's best friend, apparently. Except towards strangers. The friendliness towards strangers is a 3. Now, you're average, Oh, well, you're cool if my owner says you're cool. Is he cool? Yeah? Okay, good. Now, the ease of training is a 4. This is fantastic for a dog because it's easier than average to train this dog. Roll over, pet, do a flip, do a backflip, good dog, that type of thing. Now, for the watchdog ability, protection ability, and grooming requirements. These are all at a 2, although I would personally put the grooming requirements of this dog at a 3 because you have to brush it by every week. Maybe once a week or maybe many times a week. So I would put that at a 3 personally, but the watchdog ability and protection ability is at a 2. It can't see worth anything and it can't protect worth anything, but hey, if you live in a good neighborhood, you should be fine. Now, the cold tolerance of this dog is at a 4. This dog could take the cold just fine. I mean, it was literally bred to swim in the water. So, it should be fine. And the heat tolerance of this dog is at a 3. Average. Pretty average. I've never seen a dog have a lower cold or hot tolerance than 3 is 4. So, it works out. The weight of the male breed should be about 45 to 52 pounds. For females, it should be 35 to 42 pounds. For the healthy recommended weight of these dogs at a full age of an adult. The height should be for a male, should be around 18 to 21 inches. For a female, 17 to 20 inches for a nice, healthy height of the Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever.